Hello, good people, family, and friends, and welcome once again to the Dru Kelly Show. I am your host, your boy, Dru Kelly, and as always, it's such a joy to have you joining me here tonight. Now, we're in for a real treat. We're in for a real treat because, as you know, every guest on the show is on the main stage performing at the 18th Annual Prayze Factor Awards. That's right, 18 years. Man, I don't think I had a date that lasted more than 18 days. So 18 years, Dr. Tawanda, Sister Tawanda Black and Dr. Teresa Jordan, y'all ladies are holding it up, and God bless you with all that you're doing. This is one of the most anticipated events in gospel music. Whether you're already grabbed your tickets or you're still deciding, let me tell you, you don't want to miss this. Tonight, we have a true powerhouse in the gospel and jazz scene. Her voice is nothing short of silk, and when she steps onto the stage, you know it's going to be nothing but excellence. I'm talking about my last season co-host, funniest lady I know with more power than the law allows. She is none other than Robin Burch. Hey, Robin.
What an introduction.
No,
I
I
was
just
looking
asked
for
her
her.
before we went on air. I said, you gonna have one of them Robin Burch? Because Robin can laugh about anything. Robin can find anything to laugh about. But God bless you. Thank you, Robin. It's good to be back with you again. Let me
Yes.
let me start by saying thank you so much for helping your boy Pastor Drew out last season. Last season, it was a joy to work with you. You were a natural, and my viewers absolutely positively loved you. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, can I just say thank you for trusting me with your platform, with your artist, your audience. Thank you because you boosted me. You just boosted my confidence. I needed this Dru Kelly moment. I needed that, and I want to thank you so much.
Awesome. When I say you were a natural, I absolutely positively loved it. But you had worked on television before, down in Georgia and that. So it wasn't like you were coming in cold turkey. But
Yeah.
hey, y'all, listen up. Robin has graced the stage at Praise Factor Awards before and has captivated audience for years with her beautiful, rich voice. After taking time off to raise her kids and focus on her health, Robin is, as Arnold Schwarzenegger would say, she's bulk. Robin is back, better than ever and ready to bless us all. Tonight, we get to hear her story, her experiences at Praise Factor, and so much more. Before we get on the way, let me ask you to do us a very big favor here at the Dru Kelly Show. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss anything that's happening here tonight and the days going forward. Now, listen, the next 16 days, we're going to be interviewing 20 people that are going to be on the main stage of the Praise Factor. So you don't want to miss not one night, not one night. And we could get it off with Robin Burch. I thought it was only best that we started with somebody that I've been working with already. So Robin is actually kicking it off here on the 1st of September. Let's get right into it, Robin. Um, After stepping away for some 27 years to go back and raise the kids, and you return to the stage and kindle your passion for singing once again, what was that like, getting your feet wet? Or is it really like riding a bike? You just got back on and just
Listen,
wheeled away?
listen. It's a mixture of both. It was nerve-wracking because first of all, let me clarify this because a lot of people ask me this. I'm coming back after a 27-year to reclaim my dream of becoming a gospel recording artist. I never stopped singing.
Okay.
I've never stopped singing, but it was just that going the gospel recording artist part. But let
Okay.
me tell you, it was nerve-wracking, Dru, because things had changed. It was like walking into another dimension. Not to mention, you got how the old people used to say, slew foot, after you whispering in your ear, trying to tell you that you're a fossil now and to pass the mic and just write for people. You're outdated. Nobody want to hear you. So having to wrestle with that, and just things had just changed. So from the time I stepped out of the studio, stepping back into the studio, recording again, even the way people recorded is totally different. So it was kind of like confidence, me battling the enemy and the inner me. My enemy has always been the inner me. That's been my greatest enemy.
Absolutely.
You know? Saying that I'm not good enough and I have no right, you know, my time is past, my best days are behind me. But also what I had that the enemy should have known, that look, I'm a God girl. And God told me what he was going to do for me. And I held on. That's what kept me those 27 years. I didn't know when God was going to do it, but I knew
right there.
he was going
That's a plug right there, because Robin has a hit called I'm a God Girl, and it is hot. When I say it's hot, it's hot, it's hot. And the reason that I really like it is because it's different than what most music that Robin does. Most of Robin's music is very smooth, silky, sultry, but I'm a God Girl is rough. You know, it's kind of Queen Latifah and MC Light kind of ordeal. But I absolutely love it. Let me ask you this, Robin. You performed on the Prayze Factor stage before. And I always tell people I have some artists that I really truly appreciate, and I try to support them whenever they're in a city that I'm in at that particular time. But if I know the venue and the sound is not good, I'm not wasting my money going. Now, the venue that Prayze Factor uses for their annual event, the sound is pitch perfect. It is a beautiful sound in that place. What was it like? Tell the viewers, what was it like to walk onto that stage your first time at Prayze Factor, and what was it like when you exited that stage?
Oh my goodness, let me tell you something. It was a dream come true. Everything was done in excellence.
Yes.
I've mounted many of stages in my life. God has allowed me to mount many of stages. That, when I tell you, the spirit of excellence all around, not only was the venue excellent, but the sound went with it. You know, you can have a beautiful place in the sound and you struggle and you have to fight, and all of the audience see is they don't see the battle. They don't see what's going on between the microphone, what you're having with the issues with the equipment. They don't see that. That's a battle in itself. And then they don't see the enemy that's sitting on your shoulder. Right. It's a battle. All they see is the performance.
That's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons that I asked that, is because people in the audience don't understand what's happening between the artist and the sound man and the engineer and all of that. They don't know that. And so a lot of times I've been to concerts where the monitor may have gone out, and the monitor folks is those speakers that are sitting up there for the singer. So the singer is able to hear themselves. And sometimes you can have some issues where that goes out. Well, I didn't hear any of that at Prayze Factor, which again gave them a point with your boy, Pastor Dru.
Yeah, and mind you, Dru, a lot of times when the monitor goes out and there is a disconnect from you and the engineers, you don't know what key. You don't know the sound because you're not hearing. Right. And so it come across as they say, oh, that artist couldn't sing. That's not the case. There was a disconnect. That artist couldn't hear themselves. So now you got the artist and the music and the microphone, everything fighting against itself. And so then that artist walk away in a very bad light, right? The person said, I thought that he could do better than that. And I thought it's a whole world that's happening that nobody knows about. But when I walked to pay up on that stage, and when I picked up that microphone, and I said, you know, God is a good God. Whoa! I know from then. All I said was, you know, God is a good God. And I'm telling you, it was there. It was there. It was no wrestling. It was clear with that. And so when you get a performance like that, you can just go head on, and I call it a wave. You can get on that wave and you can ride. I always say this, Dru, Prayze Factor have to be experienced that can't be explained.
Wow.
It's an experience.
Wow.
And so for me, that's how it was. And when I exited that stage, I felt so good, because not only had I done what God said that was prophesied over my life when I was a little girl, what I would do. And I have only scratched the surface, and I believe in him, what he says. His word overrules everything else. His word is the loudest voice in the room.
Wow. As I stated, this is probably one of the best events that happens this time of year in Atlanta or in the South, period.
Oh,
one of the best events that happen. And I know you grace a lot of stages throughout the year, but
none
how do
like
you...
this. No award show. Nothing like this now.
I was going to ask you that. I know this is on a whole nother level. So how do you prepare for the Prayze Factor stage? How do you get ready for such an important event?
Well, you know what? You know the crazy lengths I've gone through. I mean, the unbig my back session, getting, count down the Prayze Factor, because it is a preparation time. And it's not all about it's not all about the artistry. I have to get myself in a mental and spiritual place, because I'm not going to sing, I'm going to minister. And I want what comes out of my mouth to benefit somebody. I want what comes out of my mouth, what the anointing of God does to heal, set free, deliver, but most of all save. So I have to go to a place and get mentally prepared as well as physically prepared, and said, okay, God, what do you want for me when I walk? Because this is when an artist gets such a opportunity is this is, you don't take that lightly, right? Because now this is your ministry. And so, God, what do you want me to, what do you want to do through me on that stage in those 3 to 4 minutes? I give you free range. Prepare me to what you want to do. Get me in the right mind frame. Get me. And so for those count down the Prayze Factor, I get myself ready. I empty myself of all the junk, all the spiritual junk. If I've been feasting on spiritual junk food, I have to let all that go.
You have to empty out.
I'm going as a vessel. So I have to go through, and what I call it's a program that God gave me, Dru, and it's called spiritual detox. And I have to go through a spiritual detox to get prepared that when I walk out on that stage, that whatever comes through me from God is pure. And there's nothing tainted. There's nothing, not any of me, but all of him. And so then I don't worry about if it cracks, if this happened, that happened, right? Because I'm preparing myself for God to speak. I'm preparing myself for God to move. I mean, It's kind of deep, but it is deep,
Yeah. Real quick, walk us through that spiritual detox. Take about 30 seconds and walk us through that spiritual detox.
Spiritual detox is when I get in a place, because we feasted on spiritual junk food. When I get in this place, I purge. I purge myself. I put down all kind of, first of all,
let me stop you right there. Spiritual junk food, what is that?
That could be gossip. That can be looking at the wrong thing, listening to the wrong thing. It don't always have to be the wrong thing, but it's not lining up at that time
with what you're getting ready to do. Okay, go ahead.
To do.
Okay.
You may have a friend who may come to you and dump on you. You can't take all that, because we know that when we're a listening ear and a crying shoulder, we take on all that stuff that they're regurgitating. We take it on. We take it on. It infiltrates. It goes through us, filters through us. So we're kind of like a sponge, right? We take in stuff. And so that's that time to get that sponge clean, because about a sponge. A sponge breeds germs because it's always soaking in. If you don't keep that sponge clean, that sponge breeds germs. So I go to God and I said, okay, it's time for a spiritual detox. God, what do you want me to put down? Because everything ain't bad, but it's bad for you at that moment. You know what I'm saying? God, what do you want me to put down? I'm ready to purge myself. I'm ready to be used in a greater capacity. And I write down what God tells me to do. I write it down. And so that's how I spiritual detox. And then I get rid of, I surround myself with worship music. I surround myself in the word. I surround myself in prayer. And I try not to let all the things that come at me, I try not to take on other people's burden. I try not to let other people's their unpreparedness become my emergency, not to be the dumping ground of the sponge that goes in and soak up and clean up everything.
Wow.
That is the kind of spiritual detox I do. And then once I do that for the inner body, then I have to work on the outer body,
Okay. And we see you out there on a regular doing that. Now you sum this up because it leads into my next question. What I heard you saying is in order for me to elevate, I got to prepare. Preparation brings elevation. And
Yes.
so me going through this spiritual detox, what it does is it empties me and prepares me to elevate to something, an assignment that I don't normally have. If God is sending me someplace but I don't normally go. If God is putting me before more people that I'm usually in front of, then
Mm-hmm.
that means that I have to be prepared. And by preparing myself, God is going to elevate
He's going to
me in
elevate.
everything that I'm doing, which leads me into my next question. It's always important when we are trying to stay focused that we have people, or if not, some of us are not lucky enough to have people, plural. But if we have a person that is there to kind of keep things straight, to kind of guard and to watch and to keep out all of the poisons, as you said. And your husband Tim is always there. He's always supporting. He's always traveling with you. He's filming. He's doing whatever's necessary to help you to do a job well done when you're on these assignments. What does it mean to you, not only to have someone that's there through the good, the bad, the thick, the thin, the ugly, this, that, and the other, but for it to be the one you love?
Listen, there's nothing like doing ministry with the one you love. There's nothing. It's something about the oneness, because the Bible says that one can chase 1,000 to flight.
Yes.
Two can chase 10,000. So it's the power of two. So when you have the power of two, I mean, he can see things that I cannot see. He's there to make it easy for me to do what God has called me to do. He's there, to watch. He's the watchman on the wall, watching while I'm preparing. And that is so important, because
Yes.
when you get a task that you get ready to do something, if you don't have that someone like that to watch your back, that's when the enemy comes in and he pounces. That's when the enemy comes in, because he want to stop it. He want to taint you. He want that when you get ready to go do what God called you to do, he don't want you to be able to open your mouth and flow with purity.
Wow.
He wants you to be able, he wants you to, and then because guess what? Everything you're wrestling with, when you open your mouth and you go forth to do what God, you're imparting stuff to people. So when God put us together, God knew what he was doing, because let me tell you something, even as I'm right here now, he's listening. And he's giving me cue cards and say, do you remember when it was prophesied to you when you were the child, da, da, da? Do you remember? And I do that for him. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
we always have each other back, because we are a part of each other ministry. We are ministry together, and so when he go forth, I go forth.
You
When
go
I
forward.
go forth, he go forth. We represent not only the king, but we represent each other, and we want each other to be seen in the best light. And so this journey has been, it means so much to have had him going on 32 years, Dru, by my side, working in ministry with me, and making sure that the enemy, he's on guard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the enemy will try to trip you up to cause you to put God to an open shame. That's
Absolutely.
what the enemy want to do.
Now you're going to take part in that opening night, Thursday night, where there's going to be that smooth, silky gospel jazz.
Listen, Dru, Thursday night, it's going to be so amazing. It's all that jazz. And we're releasing Robin Burch live. So it's going to be amazing. There are so many more amazing jazz singers that's going to be there. So many, it's going to be a night, once again, it has to be experienced, can't be explained. So those of you in that area that can get there, and especially the independent artists that's coming up, or the ones that's been out there and you want to know what an award show is, get your tickets, come and find out what all the buzz is about. But it's going to be kick off that night, and then the luncheon. I'm performing, Dru, the whole weekend. So
wow.
that Friday, I'm performing at the luncheon. And then because there's going to be an award show that, you know, you and I are going to be up for, the media.
Right.
And so, so they have their own little, they have their, I don't say little because it's not little, nothing little in Prayze Factor, but they have their own separate awards thing. So that's going to be Friday. And then Friday night, they're going to have like that gospel, that, you know, that gospel.
That down home gospel, that toe tapping, foot stumping.
I need, you know,
it's going to be quartet, but it's also going to be traditional gospel.
Gospel.
You're going to want to get in on this. The thing I like about it is everything leads up to that Saturday night, to the main stage.
It's building.
Yeah, so it just builds every night. It starts out real smooth and silky and laid back. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to run in and get all decked out on night one. You know, you could just kind of relax on night one, and then the luncheon is the next day, and it's at noon. So it's not like you have to, you know, run and get dressed again that night.
Then that night.
And then the quartet and traditional is that evening. And then 3 o'clock, I don't know how Robin's going to do all of this. Then 3 o'clock, we're on the red carpet. Your boy, Pastor Dru, will be interviewing all of the folks from the main stage on the red carpet. And then 6 o'clock, it is on.
It is on.
Popping. Let me ask you this, Robin. Gospel jazz. Now, a lot of people I've talked to who do it, they're usually instrumentalists. They play an instrument. And so that's just where they came from. As a vocalist who grew up under gospel music as a singer, how did gospel jazz come about for you?
Dru, this has always been my genre.
Oh, wow.
I never knew that I was gospel jazz. I never knew what category. I just knew the style that God gave me. And it was never celebrated in my circle. Right. It wasn't celebrated for me. I was that Disney girl. For me, I didn't sound black enough. I didn't have the traditional quartet sound. And so I never knew. Mine was more jazzy, and they was like, oh, that's just it. But that's what God gave me. So I did not even know that I was jazzy, neo. I didn't know any of that. I was just Robin. I'm just Robin. And so that's the category. But God knew. And he knew because it's the different, we all have our different audience that God has assigned us, and uniqueness. And so that's what God has given me. And so you know, it blew my mind when I found out that there was even a jazz, gospel, jazz, R&B. When somebody told me, said, you're a gospel R&B. First of all, it offended me because I didn't understand what they were talking about.
I'm saved. What you talking about? I'm saved, man.
I'm saved. But I always got that kind of, whenever I would sing, you know, I would always get that, it would be a reprimand because your voice don't sound like what people are used to. What people are used to. So we don't want you to sing. And so then I started, you know, for years I did praise and worship, and people would say, Lord, there come Disney. And they would say, oh, her voice sounds like it has been gone through a filter. No, boo, that's just the way God made me. I can't help that. You know,
well, you know, even in the church, we separate ourselves even in the church, because what happens over at PAW doesn't necessarily happen over at the Episcopalian church, doesn't happen over at the Baptist church, doesn't happen at the Seventh-day Adventist church. We're always looking for a reason to separate ourselves. And one thing that I've noticed since praise and worship has come onto the scene, everybody seems to be moving in the same direction. So I believe that what God is doing by bringing these other genres into it is allowing the people of God to be able to reach more people, because not everybody spirit and soul is in a place that they're going to accept traditional gospel music. Not everybody's soul is in a place where they're going to accept hip hop and rap. There's some people that only want tradition, only want CCM, only want that sort of music. So I bless you for being obedient. It takes obedience, because the church can pigeonhole you. The church can get you in a place, Because I remember when I started preaching and then I started hooping and hollering, and that's all they wanted to hear.
Yeah.
They didn't want much teaching anymore. They just wanted me to hoop. And I was like, no, God is shifting me to do more teaching than hooping.
Mm-hmm.
And so I definitely, how has the many transformations that you had to go through to get to this point? I mean, singing in church and then going to television took you into a whole nother era, because Channel 57 is predominantly light-skinned brothers and sisters. and then you move on and you start doing award shows and this, that, and the other. So things are constantly changing for you. How has the vocals, the genre, the everything that you've been doing that has been elevating you, how has your dress and appearance changed along with every change that has taken place?
Okay, how am I dressed and appearance? Okay, this may sound crazy, but it's true. And I can only speak, what they say, truth, power to truth, truth to power. I can only tell you. Every time God shows me on stage and he shows me how I look.
Wow.
That's how I know to dress. That's how I know what to do. He will show me even when I get a preaching engagement, God will cause me to go to sleep and I would dream. And I dream of me on the stage.
Wow.
On the podium. And I'm preaching how I look and everything. And then when I get up, I tell my husband, it's done. It's done. It's done. And I go and I'm not afraid. I go. Right. So with every transition that he's taken me through, he shows me that beforehand. He shows me how I'm to look, when I sing, what song, when I do how I'm supposed to look. All my life, God has been preparing me for the nation. That's why no one person they could grab me and say I identified with traditional gospel or I was this and that, because he's taking me to the nations. And when he take you to the nations, you got to look like the nations. You got to know the nations. You got to sound like the nations. And so when God said that I can do some things, if God said it, that settles it. I take
then it is. Then it is so.
And
listen, we've had a great time. What I want to do real quick, Robin, is if you have merch, listen, people that most independent artists, most of them, now some are lucky enough to have big sponsors and this, that, and the other, but most independent artists do not have a bunch of sponsors and that pay for their studio time and mixing and laying tracks and this, that, and the other. They don't have this stuff. The only way they do that is through selling their merch and going and working full time. That's how they get this stuff done. To make it to Prayze Factor and some of these other places that they go to let the world know that they're out here doing God's work is by selling their merchandise. And so you don't just buy something when you buy from these people. It's not just something that you're going to have comfort with, but you are actually planting a seed and you are investing in the future of these artists when you buy their merchandise. And Robin has a few things that she's going to share that she has in her store.
Okay. Well, you know, Dru, God always gives us witty ideas. Because we are independent, and like you said, everything that you said, then God always gives it. A lot of times we think he's going to send a big giant check. And sometimes he do. Sometimes he's done that for me. He makes ways. But what he's done in this season, he's given me a idea, and many other artists, of how to bless the kingdom and how to be blessed, you know, from the kingdom. So he's given me a line called Burch Merch. And I like it. I like it. So I do. You know, if you can see my girls.
Okay.
I do mugs, Praying Moms Club. He's giving me ideas of, I work out a lot. So I'm coming out with a workout with the collection. And he's giving me, you know, if you can see my girl. But he's giving me things like that, and then he'll give me the theme of my songs, like the I love the way you love me collection is coming soon, and baby, you ain't gonna want to miss that. You hear what I'm saying? Wow. You ain't gonna want to miss that I love the way you love me collection.
Robin also has apparel. Here it comes. Go ahead.
This is Daughter of the King apparel. And so
you broke it, you bought it.
And so he's giving me young themes for young girls now. Young, you know, since I'm you know, into health. Yeah. So, you know, workout gear.
Wow.
And this one is, she believed she could, so she did.
So she did. Robin, if they want to take a look at your merch, if they want to get in touch with you and say, hey, I want to learn more on what you have and how I can order, how do they do that?
They can contact me through all social platforms. We're in the midst of getting me through my music, where you can get everything in one, you can get the music and the merch. That hasn't happened yet. So you can get it directly through me. I will start posting all my stuff. You know, I kind of shied away from that for a while, for a long time. And I just take my stuff to the shows. But now I'm going to post all that I have. And they can, and I'm going to do some pop-up stores, you know, pop-up shops.
Okay, I need you all to look down in the comment section there. There will be photos of all of the things that Robin has available, and I need you to contact her. Her email and Facebook and all of that will be in there, and all you have to do is contact her. Robin, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me. I'm again with the Dru show, the Dru Kelly show. I got to come on again.
How's it feel sitting on the other side instead of being the interviewer?
You know what? You prepared me for this, Dru, because when I started, I was scared as I don't know what. Whenever I would do interviews, I could sing to you, I could preach to you, I can do all that, but these interviews, I would get brain fog. But when you were answered, you are, let me tell you, I tell you that Prayze Factor was an answered prayer. I was looking at my prayer. When I look at Prayze Factor, that's my prayer, not an answered prayer. Let me say, that's my prayer. You, my brother, my prayer, because I prayed for somebody to show me how to interview. I prayed for somebody to take me under their wings and just show me so that I wouldn't be so nervous, because a lot of times I get so nervous that my mind runs in my mouth. They can't catch up. And I have a lot I want to say. And I'd be like, blah, 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 blah. But the journey, when you took me under your wings, you gave me that confidence to be on this side and that it not be so scary and terrifying. And because I am an introvert, most people don't know that, but I am. I'm a different person when I get that microphone. When the Holy Ghost,
I was going to say, who would have ever thought?
But when the Holy Ghost falls, it has to be the Holy Ghost now. When the Holy Ghost falls on me, I'm a totally different person. But without that, I'm an introvert. I stay home. I stay to myself. I like me. I like my company. But you gave me that boost and I will be forever, ever thankful to you that God sent a Dru Kelly to me.
And I will
by way of Prayze Factor, may I say that?
Absolutely. This connection came as a result of Prayze Factor.
And we've never met in real life.
We've never met in person. This will be our first time meeting. I haven't met Tim or Robin in person. So this will be the first time. Tim, Robin, and I will definitely be doing some pictures on the red carpet.
We are so happy. Tim is in the background saying, oh, we can't wait to meet him.
Absolutely. Robin, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's been an honor to hear your story and witness your incredible strength and resilience. You, my sister, are truly an inspiration to so many. And we're going to have to bring you back because you've been through some stuff. You and Tim have been through some stuff. You've had some losses, and I'm going to have to bring you back to talk about that as well. Robin, thank you again. Thank you again. Before we wrap up, I just want to say Thursday, the 18th in Atlanta, GA. Listen, Prayze Factor got it so down. Let me tell you, man, they got it so down. You get to Prayze Factor, you need a ride, they got you covered. You got a hotel, you don't want to have to sell your firstborn to pay for a hotel room? They got you covered. So check them out, www.praisefactorawards.com. If you're having problems getting into the website or need more information, hit me up. I might not be the one to get back to you, but somebody from our care team will get back to you and they'll help you out. Until next time, this time, Robin's journey shows us all that no matter what life throws at us, we can always bounce back. We will heal. We will continue to rise. If she can do it, so can you. Let's continue to support one another and remember, life may have struggles, but it's how we rise after we fall that makes all the difference in the world. Until next time, this time, I'm your boy, Pastor Dru. God bless you.